Hi, Randy Bixby, Character Genetics, and I want to give you a tool for how to create margins in your life. I work with a lot of leaders, and many times what I find is that they're stressed out, they're overworked, there's more things on their plate than they have an opportunity to get done. Oftentimes because they're high achievers, they're also paying a great price. They may get a lot done, but they're paying a great price for it. I want to give you a tool for getting in touch with all that's really on your plate, and really some of the, there's a lot said in the leadership field today about emotional intelligence, how you handle and control the flow of emotions. This is really an emotional intelligence tool. It's great to have knowledge and understanding about emotional intelligence, just like the other, leadership quotient, intelligence quotient, character quotient. But really knowing what to do when you discover some things that you become aware of is even more valuable. So that's what this is. This is a tool that I hope you'll use to create time, space, and margins, better balance your work and your life energy. So here we go. Jump in. Creating margins, work-life balance. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to get a piece of paper out right where you're at. I want you to write this phrase down on the top of the piece of paper, okay? I am putting up with blank. I am putting up with blank. What I want you to do in just a moment, I want you to pause this video and I want you to write down the things that you're putting up with. And I want to work on this just a little bit. I want you to write down the things you're putting up with around your home and your environment. Environment, okay? I'm putting up with the grass not being mowed. I'm putting up with the house being dirty. I'm putting up with there being disorder in my office. I'm putting up with not yet replacing the roof that needs replaced, or I'm putting up with not yet doing the landscaping that needs to be done. In your home or your environment, could be at home or car, or what is it that you're putting up with that bugs you? What's underneath the skin that you're tolerating? That's another way of saying it. What am I tolerating? Okay? Not just in home, but secondly, in your faith, in your relationship with God or your spiritual journey. What are you putting up with? What are you tolerating that is either something you don't want or not having something you do want? I'm putting up with not having time, whatever, in the Word or in prayer. I'm putting up with confusion instead of clarity. Or I'm putting up with strife and struggle and conflict instead of peace. Or I'm in that faith realm or that spiritual realm. What is it that you're tolerating or putting up with? Just write it down. Okay? In the area of health, what is it that you're putting up with? I'm putting up with, or I'm tolerating, being 20 pounds overweight, or having an old wardrobe, or I'm putting up with, not eating a healthy diet, or I'm putting up with not getting enough sleep, or not drinking enough water. I'm putting up with feeling whatever it is you're feeling, sluggish, tired, worn out, putting up with bags under my eyes because I've been grinding it so hard and working so hard. But what are areas in your health that you either are putting up with not being what you want them to be, or things that are just not, or things that are that you don't want to be? Okay? And in your finances. What are things you're putting up with in your finances? Or, and I'll say this fifth area, or your job, or I'm going to say purpose, like larger than just living and working, your life purpose, your job, where you're spending so much of your time and energy. What is it that you're putting up with there? Are you putting up with a certain salary? Are you putting up with certain conflicts with coworkers? Are you putting up with not being able or choosing not to go after your dreams and start your own business? What are you putting up with? What is under the surface in your life that's on the plate? You're carrying the emotional weight of all these things that you're putting up with, that I'm putting up with. Whatever I'm tolerating is a weight on the plate. Okay? And it's draining, and it's tiring, and it's unproductive. Okay? So the first thing I want you to do is pause this, take the time, write these out. You may come up with 20 of them. Try to come up with at least 20. I mean, when I work with people coaching, sometimes I'll have them go till they get 200. And you think, 200? I mean, when you start to get in touch with how many things aren't the way you want them to be, or here's another way to think, what should be or what shouldn't be. When you start to get in touch with that, you're going to discover that there may be a whole lot there. And what that's doing is stealing your energy and stealing your focus and stealing your strength to be able to be productive. So pause this, do that. When we come back, we're going to talk about the remedies for what we're putting up with. All right, hopefully you paused it. You wrote down those tolerations or the things you're putting up with. Now what I want to do is talk to you about remedies. In other words, you've got all this on your plate and it's weighing you down and it's stealing your margins. It's stealing the space in your head and in your heart and in your emotions and in your strength to be able to live life to the full in this work and life balance according to priorities that matter to you. And so the truth is, every one of those things that you're putting up with, it's your choice that you're putting up with them. You get to choose. So do I. I choose what I put up with, what I tolerate, and what I address or fix or remedy. I choose that. So this idea that I'm just so overwhelmed, it's never going to change, I'm the one choosing that if that's what I decide. And so are you for you. So the secret to be able to take things off of your plate, have that higher emotional intelligence, be able to control and move off all those things that are sucking energy and strength and focus from you, is to come up with a remedy. And these remedies, for our purposes, we're just going to have them all start with the letter D, just because it's easy to remember, and there are remedies outside of these I'm going to give you, but what I want to do is I want to talk about what are the remedies, and then I'm going to ask you to go back to your list and write down beside your lists at least one of these remedies so that you can begin to take those things off your plate, deal with them, which creates margins, creates space, time, and energy. So here's one. What you could do is dump it. Just decide that one of those things isn't important. It's not going to make the cut. It's not worth worrying about. Dump it. Could. Another choice could be to dissect it. In other words, cut it up in smaller pieces. If it's overwhelming you right now, a project that's not done or something that needs to be, cut it up in smaller pieces and take one piece at a time. Give yourself permission, here's another one, by delaying it, that, hey, I'm just going to do this over 6 months instead of this week. A lot of the pressure we put on ourselves is because we put these timelines on ourselves. We don't realize we can actually change them, at least some of them. We can change, and if we can, that might be one of the remedies you choose. You might choose to discuss it. Here's a big one. A lot of the personal issues or relational issues we have with people require some open, honest, responsible discussing, communication. I'm going to take responsibility for my feelings and my time and what's going on, and I'm going to share that. Not in an attack way that makes somebody defensive, but in a way that's honest for me. I'm going to get this weight and this energy that's overwhelming me off by discussing it, putting it on somebody else. I could delegate it. I could take things on this, on that toleration list, and I could farm them out to other people. I could hire somebody to clean the house. I could have somebody volunteer. I could, there's lots of ways I can delegate whatever it is I'm putting up with that's not done. I mean, you could probably think of many, many more. Let's see, what's some other ones here? We could, oh, here's one. We could delight in it. Wow. You say, what do you mean? I don't like these. I don't like that I'm putting up with it. I know. But one choice you can make is to accept it. That it is what it is. Instead of having all that resistance and tension to fight that it isn't the way it should be, one possible thing is you could delight in it. I'll give you an example of this one. My wife, she's amazing. I love her. But she is a night person. And I mean a night person. She gets her best work, focused, energetic, laser-like work done at 1, 2, 3 in the morning. Me, I am a morning person. My vision starts to go fuzzy. I start to stutter and kind of run my words together about 10:30. 11 o'clock at night, I'm out, or I should be. But I'm up at 5 or 5:30. I'm excited, or 6 maybe at the latest. I'm ready to go. I'm excited. I do my best, clearest work in the morning. Now, that's a frustration over the years between the two of us. Because I'm going to bed when she's really fired up and ready to go. I'm waking up when she's asleep and tired and I'm ready to go. I finally decided, you know what? I'm going to just accept it. That's how it is. I'm going to delight in this. This is her. And, I wish it could be a little different, but you know what? I'm going to live with it. I'm going to choose to delight in this. It's amazing what happened. So much pressure and negative energy and tension left me when I just decided to accept it. Now, there's other strategies that I'm sure. Let me see. What am I missing here? Dump it, dissect it, delay it, discuss it, delegate it, delight in it. You might deploy or design strategies around fixing it. And here's the big thing. This is the big one. Be decisive. A lot of times we let things sit on our plate and weigh us down emotionally when all it is required is to identify it and then be decisive around it. In some way, make a decision. I'm going to dump it, dissect it, delay it, discuss it, delegate it, deploy it. I'm going to take action of some kind and be decisive, even if it's, I'm going to put this off for 3 months. I'm not even going to look at it for 3 months, but in 3 months, I'm going to take it on. Great. That takes it off the plate. And by being decisive around that, now I've created some margin. Here's what I know. That it does not support an exciting life to always be overwhelmed and a plate too full, too busy. And I run into this a lot with leaders. I run into it with myself oftentimes. I try to do more than I can do in the time that I have to do it. I overextend sometimes people and resources to be able to push because I'm driven and I'm dreaming and I want to see things done. And what ends up happening is I end up getting tired and I end up missing out on really important things in the lives of other people. And I'm learning to take action and be decisive around all of the things on my plate because I'm responsible for me. You're responsible for you. You're choosing to be whatever it is you are. Worn out, tired, overwhelmed, busy, confused, or passionate, rested, excited, focused. It's up to you for you. I hope this tool is helpful, and I promise you this, if you will go back and regularly write down those things that you're putting up with, that you're tolerating, and then go right back to the list and assign and then carry out a remedy for that thing, you will find yourself feeling free, feeling more rested, more energetic, more focused, more able to really accomplish those key things that are important and enjoy life and have a better work-life balance. This is a powerful tool. I hope you'll use it. And it's been great to be with you. I'd like to know how it works for you. Get in touch with me. Let me know. This is Randy Bixby. Character Genetics, permanent shifts, lasting change.